This sound, for me, is an expression of satisfaction. "Hello," says the man, the beard, who always has to peek around the corner just to get in the frame. And here is the main character today. No, that's not it, but I just wanted to show it. Yes, the other beard, that's the one. Here we have Norica 2001 Dragon. Yeah, another huge piece of equipment. The Spaniards take this seriously in some way. I'm a big fan of Norica now because just like Gamo or Comet, they don't deliver junk. It's really something special. They still take this seriously in some way. I'll read you the good piece again. It says 441C. That's part of the serial number, but it's probably used to mark weapons according to the country they're tailored for, and which national laws apply. Basically, you can also stamp here, restricted, then everyone knows what the serial number, caliber, and specifications are for Germany. Made in Spain? Yes, that's good. On top, just Ika Dragon. Dragon is English, that's foreign, and means dragon. Yes, even dragons are just poultry. And here we have something made for Umarex, Germany. Made for Umarex, Germany. Alright, that marks the importer. That's legally required in Germany. Yeah. Where do I start? I'll start off exactly. I'll aim over the rear sight and GR, although this is going to be a bit trickier. I'll tell you why in a moment, but it fits reasonably well. That's already nice. It's always a bit tricky when they set up the sighting system like this. How should I put it? Because I have to kind of bury my head halfway into the stock just to get close. So here we have a black plastic stock. And it looks like some stock screws are covered with some weird plastic thing. We've got grip texture on all corners and edges. With wood, you would say fish scale. Here we say grip texture. We have a hinted cheek piece on both sides, so on the right and left to protect. We have a butt plate that says Norica on it. Which, as far as I can tell, is straight. That's always interesting for those who want to add some spacers. Speaking of spacers, length. Yeah, that fits. But that really fits. So, that's exactly my size, I have to say. It looks a bit strange now because the trigger does seem to be a bit too far forward. So if it had a bit more space in the trigger guard than necessary. But we'll overlook that. Yeah, then let's just keep rotating. It's actually fitted and screwed in trigger guard made of plastic 2-part with a beautiful casting finish. Speaking of casting finish, I mean, just take a look at this compared to some other air rifles lately. There's hardly any noticeable casting finish on this. So here they still had the time for someone to sit down and smooth out the edges. That's why I say the old Spaniards, but that's something completely different from the modern Chinese. Trigger? We have a cross screw with a hole here, and we have something there too. What we don't have is a screw inside. So there's nothing adjustable there. Then we have an automatic trigger safety. I find it very uncomfortable, but at least you don't forget about it. So, when you get into position here, it sticks out a bit and reminds you, hey, you need to take the safety off. It's a bit uncomfortable that I have to take the safety off with the back of my finger. You really have to push a bit. And I have to say, my finger muscles work a lot better for me like this than like that. But I don't want to complain. I honestly still find this better than having to reach up there. You know, because then you have to get out of position again, and you don't need to do that here. So, that was it for now. It's wet. But I don't want to complain. I honestly still find this better than having to reach up there, you know, because then you have to get out of position again, and you don't need to do that here. So, that was it for now. It's wet. Here we have a scope stopper, so the scopes don't wander off. Otherwise, there's nothing special about the stock. Then we have the metal part here, and there's nothing special about it. That's a barrel, which isn't surprising. Then let's take a look at the rear sight. The rear sight. It looks a bit crooked here. Oh, it's broken. It's a bit broken. I'll hold it up to the camera. Some little ball just popped out. It doesn't hit me that hard because I always shoot with a scope anyway. My poor old eyes. The dials are nicely printed, so they're easy to read. On the side, too. I think we can manage this here. Oh, the rear sight is gone. The rear sight is completely broken off here. Yeah, well, that fits well with the GR. It completely broke off during transport. I know you're just a camera. Otherwise, I wouldn't be shoving this thing in your face. As for the GR, I've already come to an agreement with the seller. Paid for it. Here is the complete Placement front sight base. You always wonder, what does such a thing cost? Where can you even get it? Yeah, the Weapon Center Gotha, they have everything. They also had that in stock in the price list. I had to ask them. $12.95. That's okay. Now I just need to figure out how to fix the rear sight, because it's in the trash. And if I sell it, I want to hand it over in one piece. That would be nice, even if the next buyer is just going to shoot. With numbers again. I need to take a good look at this thing. Maybe you don't need to make anything new at all. It looks like there's some styrofoam stuffed in here. And you also have to say this is a leftover. That was left over from the father with the previous seller, and that's why he never really dealt with it. So in the photos, it might even be that it's not big enough. What? It could even be that the rear sight was already broken before. Then that will probably apply to the rear sight as well. What's that already? No, there was still something with the trigger. So now I have to... Oh, come on, I'll just do a little bit of bang bang first. Buttery soft. So, really buttery soft. Okay, you can hear a jump error. So be it. But here the bolt is like butter. Great. Really great. So, uncock. Let's see if I can do this. I can't uncock it while it's cocked. So you can't just dry fire it. Alright, good to know. So, now I just need to carefully put a pellet in here. It almost just drops in here. 2001. Flop, he says. Now let's take a look from the side. Uncock. Yeah, you can definitely really feel that safety. Yeah. Typical for a long rifle. Decent recoil. Something's happening in there, and you can really feel it. 1,000, so to speak, it goes bang. Speaking of bang, I haven't said anything about the trigger at all. My God, I'm getting old. I'm a bit distracted because the world outside is falling apart. We're really having a storm today. Normally, everything here is cushioned in my area, but today we're really getting hit hard. We're really taking it on the head. The pellet drops in so it fits perfectly, but it also falls right back out just as quickly. Maybe we need to know that. So, uncock, trigger, and then a nice pull. Wow. Bone dryer direct trigger. Drain weight is completely fine. No crawling, no scratching, just a really smooth pull and then it goes bang. It's, you could say, like a rock solid pressure point. So rock solid, please don't get me wrong, but it really is. It's not a match air rifle, but it's completely fine. So I'm okay with the trigger. Now we come to the card. Do I need to say something about that? You have to disregard one of them? It could simply be an outlier, a broken pellet, a misfire, a dead herring. Who knows? Something was off with that one. And the rest are 10 shots, from a sitting position at 10 meters. But you can't complain about that. I'm saying we're talking about a recreational shooter here, and then... oh, it's really fine. Well, I mean, it doesn't look nice. Well, a wooden stock is always better if you have a wooden stock. Of course, it costs a bit more right away, but wood is better. Wood feels nicer, wood looks better. At first glance, the thing looks cheap. As I know from the Spaniards, it's not. And if it shoots like that, I'm always happy. Yes. I have a conclusion. I would say it's recommendable even without an adjustable trigger. I hope that one day someone figures out how to disable the automatic safety on this. This applies to all air rifles. All those that have an automatic safety need to be modified so that they don't have an automatic safety anymore. Whether they have a manual safety or none at all doesn't really matter. At least for Germany. We're not walking around with it like that. Instead, we load the thing and shoot right away. But no one has a safety either. You know how it is with me, I always go on about it. Energy. Exactly, we want to check the energy. Energy. It's like chestnuts. Not that I confuse Gustav with gastro or something like that. We have a Norica here. Let's take a look under N best. Norica 5673 Dragon. Values. new shots. We have here 6.0, 6.4, 6.1, 6.3, 5.9, 6.3, 6.4, 6.3, 6.3, 6.1, 6.26, 5.7, 6.0, 5.5, 5.8, 6.0. So around 6.2, 1.16, 5.7, 6.0, 5.5, 5.0, 6.0. So around 6.2. I'll say around that on average. Let's take another look at the measurements. 20 shots as always. High 167 ms, low 155 ms, average 162 ms, spread 12. Standard deviation 3, so a spread of 12, is normal for this type of rifle. And when you shoot like that, it doesn't really matter what the deviation is. The result matters, like with so many other things in life. Yeah. Do I have more to say about that? Here, that's the most important thing of all, which is also not unimportant. We've got 22 degrees in here. It's always nice and fluffy, cozy. Forgotten. No, I haven't forgotten anything. I'll take another look. There's a bit of dirt back here. Yeah, this could also be junk here, but come on, we don't want to say anything about plastic. At that price, I don't really pay attention anyway. I have some here too. Yeah, we do have a bit of rust pitting. Some surface rust, so to speak. Up front, that's also typical closet rifle. But come on, at that price, it's totally fine. Did I mention what I paid? I've forgotten again. Oh my goodness! Just wait until you get as old and worn out as I am. Then you'll also notice that a lot of things don't work the way they used to. Thinking. Pondering. Norica. Dragon. That's a shotgun called Norica Dragon. Like the dragons. In the jazz. I'm just missing one word to be fluent. I paid 110 for the gold trim. I was just thinking, about 67. No, 1 What does this thing cost new? It probably costs around 200. I'll check it again. It's always a bit tricky with equipment that's no longer available. This one, however, has a license from October 2017, so it can't be older than 7 years, really. Well, the serial number is there. Who shows it? Oh, right, a Spaniard. We have a serial number that ends with a dash. Yeah, under normal circumstances, you'd say it's from the year 2000, 5th month, but it has a license from 2017, 2nd month. However, I have actually found years of manufacture elsewhere that were before the license. There could be 2 reasons for that. Either the thing was produced in 2005 and just sat around until it finally made its way to Germany in 2017. Or another possibility is that the thing had a PTB approval under a different name before. The approval always refers to the specimen that was submitted. If now, e.g., if another importer admits it and calls it something else, then it gets a new PTB. So it could be that it shouldn't actually belong to 2005 at all. Yes. The third possibility is, of course, that this number, nothing at all, points to 2005. However, if I see that nothing is actually laser etched here, everything is stamped and hammered in, then I would say it's older. It's from 2005. I really doubt that it's from 2005. The approval will, so, its number, it won't fit this shotgun. Yes? So I'm just going to take a few more minutes. He says 1403 and 30. That's fine. If he gets one at a price that's really good, then definitely go for it. Thanks for tuning in, says once again. Guy with the big oranges on his hands. In a forum, someone already said, the guy who always drums on the rifles with the orange hands. That's his signature move. And you definitely can't forget to mention that his camera has to turn off all by itself.